One thing that I've found over the years of interviewing guests here on America Dreams is that principle of the great leader has become a servant to those that they serve with. It isn't about coming from a position of authority. It's about learning to love those that you work with. I like to spend a few minutes on identifying and how to keep your core competencies within an organization. But at the end of the day, in order to implement any leadership strategy, in order to implement any process, the person giving the process has to know the organization well. They have to know the employees within that organization. They have to understand what it takes to motivate those individuals to getting the processes in place. So first of all, when you talk about an organization and people that are looking to launch companies, they first need to look at their core competency. Rob Ryan, who is the founder of Sun Communication, has put together what he calls the sunflower model. There are 3 components to the model. First, there's a core competency, and that would be the flower itself. What is the strategic advantage of that company? What is the center strength of that company? What is the company all about? When Rob gives presentations in illustrating the sunflower model, he uses the company Honda. He says, what is Honda's core competency? What are they good at doing? They make lawnmowers, they make cars, they make leaf blowers, they make all sorts of things. Different practical uses. He says, what is their core competency? Honda Motors is an engine company. Their core competency is their engine, and they will put in place any product that helps to sell and scale the company based on their engines. How do you identify a core competency? Well, you look at, first of all, does it have potential access to a wide variety of markets? Does it make a significant contribution to the perceived customer benefit of the end product? Is it difficult for competitors to imitate? Few companies build world leadership in more than 5 to 6 core competencies. A core competency is different than a capability. A company that has 20 to 30 capabilities probably doesn't have 20 to 30 core competencies. It's important when starting a company and getting ready to launch a business that you understand what your core competency is all about. In this world of ever-changing technology and markets, while the tides may shift, your core competency, if it's not built on a rock-solid foundation, will fall and crumble. You can lose your core competency when you're judging the competitiveness of your competitors or end product, and you're risking or degrading your core competencies for not enhancing it. If you're more focused on the outside sources and forces rather than on building up the base to work off of, use that core competency to the utmost advantage. Adapt to them and be able to compete in other markets while not degrading them at the same time. Outsourcing can be a shortcut to a more competitive environment, but doing things in-house creates people-embodied skills needed to sustain product leadership. Companies cannot intelligently outsource if they do not have a competitive strategy. Oftentimes, there's a debate in the corporate world. Do I grow my company holistically, or do I go out and buy other organizations and merge them in to acquire different customers? Both strategies have their pros and cons. However, a holistic is a preferred mode if you want to have a stronger core competency built on a rock-solid foundation. Organizations find it's easier to bring people in and scale them in on processes instead of going out and having to retrain another organization to their way of doing business. And essential to having a maximum gain is establish competencies in existing markets that are evolving and undergoing changes. When you choose to not participate, you can be at a huge loss, which can be only partially calculated in advance. Also, if you forego investing in core competencies while building, it will be more difficult to enter into an emerging market. It is very difficult to leave a core competency and then try to establish it later on. So, as you're launching businesses, make sure that from the day one that you understand what this business is all about. What are the core competencies? How do I build a vision and a mission statement off this competency? And is my competency actually scalable to the markets that I intend to serve?